Goodness gracious, mercy me, it sure is good to be alive today. I'll tell you. Feeling full of life, and a little pain, little restriction. Well, more than a little, but, I know we're all going through it, this difficulty, this pain, and I just want you to hold to it. Hang in there. No matter what your attitude, I don't care if you're bitter at the world and think you're the most picked on and poor son of a gun that ever walked the face of the earth. You might well be. It doesn't matter now. Hold that place, hold that space just a little while longer, and the rest of us will pull you through, because there are a lot of good-hearted people on this planet, yourself included. And we give to one another quite frequently in unknowing ways. It takes a disaster usually to get us to come back together. And I'm hoping and praying that such things need not happen any longer, because, shoot, we're all adults here. Adult children lost in paradise. We gotta just stick with it. Hang in there, babies. Whatever the problem is, nurse it along. Don't, hang back because of it. That's our natural tendency, to wallow in the pain, to wallow in the misery of where we're at the moment. But you don't have to look much farther to see somebody in a whole lot worse situation. Appreciate where you are, no matter how difficult it is, because it's sure better than being where they are. We're all in it at different stages, different places. Yet, because we function in this multifaceted way, each of us is a specialist, and the whole thing works together harmoniously, because each person puts their energy into it, their effort into it, whatever that might be. I might be sitting down playing a game of poker with the boys, or it might be soaking at the hot springs, tuning into nature and God, being inside of all of that for everybody else, and you don't even know that's what you're doing. As far as you know, you're laying there relaxing and just saying, thank goodness I got to this place at last. There's a lot of healing things we can do for ourselves, and one of them is to wallow in the pain and misery and to feel picked on. And, but the one thing you'll find in that victim attitude is, when it comes right down to it, you're worthy, or you wouldn't be suffering like this. It takes a strong soul, a strong heart, a strong spirit to go through what we as normal human beings, well, there's nobody normal, but we as human beings go through on a moment-to-moment basis, on a daily basis. I mean, our lives, in comparison to much of the rest of the universe, have been pretty low. Dank, bitter. But there's a sweetness in the bitterness. It's old sweet and sour again, the old coyote medicine coming back at us. And I'm telling you, babies, when we get to the base of the pain, when we finally start to see where it's coming from, what it is, then we find the joy in the experience of the pain. And the pain no longer is pain. And in fact, it doesn't exist anyway. And neither does any of this difficulty we're going through. In a way, it's an experience we've created for ourselves, and we already know the outcome, and that is why we're going through it now. That is why we've taken the time to come back here and live another lifetime, to finish up what we started oh so long ago. And as you go deeper into that pain, that sadness, that's what you're going to see is the beginning of sorrows. And it was there when death came in, and I need not describe it in this time, but I know everybody senses it and feels it. It was quite a devolvement into outright slavery for humanity at that time, though we eased ourselves into it. We're easy on ourselves, believe it or not. These are some of the hardest times we've ever lived, and look how easy we got it. You know, you may have to grunt and groan and sweat and borrow from Peter to pay Paul and all that kind of stuff, but we live fairly good lives, fairly comfortable lives. I mean, most of you get caught in the rat race, you know, of going to work to pay for the car that takes you to work to pay for the house that houses the kids and so forth, you know. It's a busy little life, and they've structured it, you know, to the point now where, you know, you can fall flat on your face more easily than you can do anything else. But I'm sitting here telling you I've been down and out. I've lived on the streets. I know what that life's like. But I was charmed for me. I wasn't out there a derelict drinking and falling down in the gutter at night. Hell no, I was partying with my friends. And there was always a little sofa someplace or a little corner somewhere that would let old Coyote sleep in it. Did that for a number of years. And hung out with the homeless a lot, you know. I sense that they're a lot freer than you'd think they are, you know. Of course, it's really unnerving, you know, not to have a place to go to. And then you realize, well, you are the place you're going to, but you find ways to give yourself a little privacy, even out there in the openness of nature, you know. You deal, you grow. And the main reason I did that then was because I was completely devoted to the life I was living, and it required me to be available to the spirit and to the people, you know, like 24/7, you know. And I couldn't be bothered with things like paying rent and stuff, because I didn't have any money anyway, you know. I always have given away my gifts, and because that's what they are, as gifts. But I will accept donations here and there, of course. You know, guys got to live. So I'd get enough to eat on, but not much more, you know. But I lived a pretty charmed life. And I'm telling you, when you feel that commitment to heart, you may not be able to describe it as that, but the thing you were born with, that dream, that knowing that something really good, really super was going to happen in this lifetime, when you feel that engaging inside, as I do now, and if I feel it, then I know you're feeling it, because we're in it together. And when you feel that engaging, babies, it changes the way you think, feel, act. What's coming forward now is something that even still we can't quite comprehend. Yet in our heart, it's as good as gold. It's there. It's ready. It's like a baby being born, and there is pain involved, and contractions and expansions, and a whole lot of maneuvering to get ourselves in there. But we're working together with the mother. We're not fighting this one. We're holding together, people. And I know it seems real chaotic out there right now. And you can't let that deceive you or distract you. You know, the fellers got to have their last little go at it. So we'll let them do it. They ain't going to get far with it. They're running for their hidey holes. So don't worry too much about what you see in the world around you. There's a place to go that's safe as safe can be, and it's inside of yourself. And no matter what's happening here, greet it with love, honor, and respect. Don't back down from anything. In the sense that you roll over and take it. Be loving in your most trying moments. Look danger, death in the eye and see the love, and you'll know your life, and you'll know why you've chosen to come back to life again. And this is a whole lot like death. And we're doing some grieving. And that's where all this sadness is coming from. We're grieving over where we've been, what we've left behind. For all of the misery, babies, it's been sweet in our suffering. We like those old Western movies, you know? And the Roman ones before that, and the Egyptian ones before. I mean, goodness gracious, guys. We're free. But we can't help but grieve over what's been. We were in over our heads for the longest period of time. I know you feel it. You know, it's not in our history books. There's a challenge there to remember then what's real. And the more you can dwell in your pain in this loving and respectful sort of way, that lets you soften it up. Use your gentle side like I've told you before. You can't fight your way into this one. You can only flow. And you have to be like, it's like kind of being at the ski resort, the old-fashioned ones, where you used to have to catch a moving rope, slide on up the mountain to get skiing, you know. Well, it's kind of like that. You got to get it just right, or you're going to fall on your face, maybe hurt you. But babies, we are getting it just right. That's my point. No matter what station we are in life, no matter where we are, or what's going on going through us, we're here doing it, and we're doing it well. And the more you can tune in, the more you're going to see that. I mean, sometimes I shake my head and say, what the fuck? Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but half the time. Yet you just keep going with the flow, man. You know it's going in a good direction. You just can't say no. I mean, it's like being with a lover you can trust for the first time in forever. Think about that one, man.
I've heard the stories. I wish I'd known you then. She wrote them down, all your tales of glory, and the giants among men. But you'll know